Sanjay Jha is amongst those who have a complicated relationship with the Congress. He's no longer in the Congress, but he says his heart is still that of a congressman. You've got Jitin Prasada, wicket down, one batsman in Rahul Gandhi's team walking over and joining the other side. Why do you think he left? Do you think he'll be able to add value to the BJP? Is this a good investment from the BJP's perspective? He's actually lost 3 elections, so what does he even bring to the table?
Well, Rahul, I spoke to him actually just a couple of weeks ago. And, frankly, I actually mentioned it to some of my other Congress colleagues that I was a little taken aback by how dispirited and demotivated he was. It was so visible, the manifestation of his own disenchantment with the Congress. It got me a little worried. Not because, we did disastrously in West Bengal and he was, spearheading the entire campaign. So maybe he took it a little badly. But I kept telling him that, let's try and see how we can re-energize the party and, hobnob with other people who care in the same way. But he told me, Sanjay, I'm not in that. You guys fix the problem. I don't think I can contribute at this point. And I mentioned this to a couple of my friends in the Congress who are part of the G23, and I told them, listen, this is a little bit of a worrying development. So I'm not very taken aback. Actually, Rohan has actually been pretty, I got to give some brownie points here to Rohan. It's a tough one. The Congress is bleeding because of only one simple reason. And Rajdeep is right. Ideology in our country is totally at a discount. So it's all about, let's not do any complex biopsy of history of the Congress, etc. It's a simple math, Rahul. A platform that appears to have a greater opportunity for success is where people are going to flock to. And what the BJP is doing, for long accused of having a talent deficit, is picking up good people from the Congress. Now, you can't blame Amit Shah for picking up Jyotiraditya Scindia. Jyotiraditya, many people see him as a potential prime ministerial candidate when he was in the Congress party. Jitin is a young guy. I know him. He's very bright, very energetic. He brings a lot to the table. So the BJP is actually now trying to ensure that the image of being, the hard Hindutva extremists in the party by bringing in, Jyotiraditya, Jitin and other people.
But are they better off? Jyotiraditya Scindia is still waiting in the sidelines for his term to be minister at the centre. Rajdeep, so they've jumped. Rita Bahuguna Joshi, look at how it's ended up for her. Look at Brajesh Pathak and so many in the Uttar Pradesh BJP. Or look at those like Mukul Roy and Rajiv Banerjee who came to the BJP in West Bengal and are now really floundering and wondering if they did the right thing.
Well, yes and no. The fact is you're giving me examples of people who are in a way struggling to build their identity within the BJP having switched over. But there are the likes of Hemanta Biswa Sarma, who's become a chief minister of the state, 5 years after leaving the Congress. So there are those who've also had opportunity. Look, I think the fact is, Rahul, the BJP today or the new BJP under Modi Shah is like the old Congress. It is willing to take people within its tent. Now, what kind of, how it accommodates them, what positions it gives is another matter. But remember, in the past, the Congress was seen like the Bahti Ganga, which took people from various political ideologies. You could be pro-business like a Murli Deora, you could be of a socialistic stream, and yet find space within the Congress. The new Congress is not willing, in a sense, to accommodate that, and doing so, maintaining this sort of hard doctrinaire position at a time when you're out of power. At a time when you're out of power, you have to be accommodative and find ways in which you can accommodate people. At the same time, let's be honest, these are careerist opportunists. You could call them that also. And that's, that, as I said, reflects poorly on Indian politics. But I think the party system itself is seeing the new BJP playing the role of the old Congress, and the likes of Hemanta Biswa Sarma will now be held up as potential poster boys for the likes of Jyotiraditya Scindia to maybe in the future aspire to become Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. He may be looking at the moment as someone who's not been given a cabinet post, but who knows what the future holds. At least you're willing to wait for a year or two for that potential benefit you'll get, unlike in the Congress, where, Rahul, you may have to now wait for years before the Congress is in a position to aspire to power. Power politics does this. It's real politics, power politics. The BJP plays it. The Congress used to play it. The Congress no longer plays that kind of politics, unfortunately. Fortunately or unfortunately. That's for the party to decide.